Hello and welcome back to the In Your Mind podcast. You're with Kiz and Brendan. This week we're going to be talking about our daily routine in building our dream life. So basically last year around September I broke my hand and I was in a space where I felt pretty down. I had a lot of goals and vision that I wanted to achieve, but I wasn't really sure how I was going to do that. Like I wasn't even sure how I was going to write my notes for uni.
So you were just starting uni?
No, it was second semester.
But you were struggling?
I think that I just wasn't in a routine. Like I didn't have routine or structure, and that some weeks were really good and some weeks were really bad. And I'd really judge myself based off that. And it really hurt and I took big hits.
Did you feel like you could get better at that?
Yeah, I did. And I thought that I was kind of getting better at it, or that like I thought
it would take a long time. Be very hard.
Yeah, I knew it was possible to find a structure and routine, but everything that I was trying wasn't really working.
Yeah.
Like I would try organize a schedule and then the next week like it wouldn't work, and then try another thing and then that wouldn't work.
Like you couldn't stick to it.
Yeah, I couldn't stick to it. I couldn't like find something that worked.
Okay.
And then when I hurt my hand, I was like, how am I going to do this? Like this seems like an impossible task. So
on top of everything else.
Yeah.
That comes with life.
Yeah, like working and uni and driving even, like driving hurt to move the wheel.
Yeah, with your broken hand.
Yeah, so, and it was my right hand.
Dominant hand, yeah.
Yeah, like I couldn't chop vegetables. Like it's so weird, but like the smallest task that you don't even think about became like really hard. And I was like, wow, if I'm struggling with this, how am I going to just manage to do it, let alone try and be like successful and on top of it? Like that seemed so far.
Yeah, you're like fighting to not regress. You were just trying to stay on top of things.
Yeah.
Let alone get better and get to where you wanted to go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I remember like after I'd just come back from the hospital, I'm just feeling like there's a weight on me and that how am I going to do life? Like everything it just seems so hard. Like it's something so small really in the scheme of things is an injury like that. But it really just knocked me back and knocked my confidence. And I then like expressed to Brendan like all my dreams and like the things that I want to achieve. And I was saying, like, I don't know how this is going to be possible. Like, I can't even chop vegetables. Like, what is going on?
Can I ask you?
Yeah.
This kind of tells the next part of the story, but I sort of said, like, I was doing 75 hard at the time. And if you've heard it or not before, we'll definitely get into it. But I was doing it. And you just broken your head. You had all of this shit that you had to do. You're feeling overwhelmed. I'm like, hey, you should do this, which is probably twice as much as what you're already doing.
Yeah.
And all of those things are difficult in and of themselves. Yeah. So how did you feel when I first suggested that?
I first thought you were crazy and that you didn't care about me. I was like, you think I should be doing more? Like, I felt like I should be pulling back, not going in harder.
Yeah.
And I was like, does this person actually care about me, or do they just want me to like...
Do you even understand what I'm going through?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, do you have any compassion for this?
Yeah.
And I think I expressed that at the time. I was like, are you serious? Like, and then you're like, yeah, this is just what you need. Like,
I must have said I'm like a complete psycho.
No, well, I could feel that your intention was like authentic and that you had something underlying that. There was some meaning behind it. So I really wanted to understand like why you think that. Yeah. So the things that he was saying.
What 75 hard consists of, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the car, when we're having this conversation and he's saying you should do 75 hard, he was telling me all the different tasks of 75 hard and what it encompassed. So, yeah. So for people that don't know, that includes
2 45-minute workouts. One has to be outside. You follow a strict diet, no cheat meals, 0 alcohol. You read 10 pages of a self-development book every day, non-fiction. Has to have information in it, basically, that makes you better. Drink a gallon of water, which is about 4 litres. It's like 3.75 litres of water every day. Take a progress picture every day. The progress picture and... Am I forgetting anything else? I think that's it.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah. So 75 days of that every day. No exceptions, no changing, no compromises. That's what you do.
I think in the car, you brought it up to me as like a structure, a form of like structure. It's like, okay, well, what are you lacking right now? And I was lacking like routine and structure. And that's really what I was craving. I was like, I need things that I can stick to achieve the things that I want to.
But even below that, right? Like you need structure and routine because you feel instability in yourself. Right. And really that's what it's like grabbing a hold of.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I also asked you like, how are you so confident or how are you so like sure of yourself? And I think that is something that I wanted more of, that we all want more of. We want self-confidence and resilience. And I wanted to know how you kind of got there and the process behind that. And really what it was is like mental toughness and
discipline.
Yeah, discipline. Having something to stick to and doing it. And it made sense as well. Like it really clicked for me then and there. It was like, oh, you make these commitments and you don't waver. Therefore, you know you're capable of doing these things. Therefore, you have self-confidence in yourself to do the things that you say you're going to do.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah.
So basically, I started doing 75 hard the first round with a broken hand. And that was really the thing that I was really uncertain about. And my cop out when he first said, you should do this thing. That's like why you should do it. Because imagine achieving it with a broken hand. And I was like, wow, yeah, true. That is such an accomplishment.
It's called 75 hard for a reason.
Yeah, it's supposed to be hard. It makes you feel more capable of the things just in your daily life. Like everything isn't a struggle. It's just a breeze. Yeah.
Yeah. The whole idea of the program is to make your life as hard as possible intentionally so that any other shit basically that happens outside of that you can't control. You can just carry it because you already make shit hard enough, you know, like you already have built the strength within yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And so I was really questioning whether it was something that I should be doing or if I should wait. And we discussed that it would be more beneficial for me to just start right now while I've got like the momentum and this drive and I could really see what it could do for me. So I went, okay, starting, we're doing it. And those days that followed was really tough. And the first couple days I didn't know if I could do it. It honestly just got easier and easier because it became like more of a routine and more habit while you progress to it. And I think the real key thing to it was that you just think of the next task. Like you just think, okay, go to work out. Cool, done that. Okay, go to uni. Yeah. Oh, I've got time for another workout. Let's do that. Because the first couple days I would wake up and think, oh my gosh, I've got this mountain in front of me that I need to climb and I don't think I can do any of it. But if you just go, okay, I'm going to go to the gym. Cool, done. Okay, I've done that. I'm going to do some reading. I'm going to read. Cool, done that. Wow, I'm actually getting through this.
Yeah.
Wow, I actually see this. Yep, I've actually drunk 1 liter already. Wow, that's how good. Like little by little, those tasks and that kind of dopamine that you get, that reward from completing one thing and starting that momentum transfers onto the next task and it just, it goes from there and it becomes not this mountain, but just like a little hill increment by increment from the day.
Yeah. And then one day turns into 2, turns into 3.
Yeah.
And you begin to realize that you are in control of your momentum and ultimately your entire life trajectory at that point. Like you finally see for the first time, like, I'm in control,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I think that's where a lot of confidence comes from, to be honest, for sure.
Yeah. I think just knowing that you're capable, like thinking like if you've done all your tasks at like before 3 p.m. and then you go to work and there's like a slight inconvenience, I feel so much more capable of handling that.
Yeah.
Because I've
It's
just
like,
done
bro,
this whole thing.
the amount of shit that I've dealt with before coming to work, like, this ain't nothing.
Like, this is nothing. This is fine.
Yeah.
This is a blip. Like, it's just a moment and, you know, focus on it and it will be gone. Like, it's gone in an instant. And I think that's the real thing. Like, if you're really present in your commitments and in your tasks, then it doesn't become this whole ordeal and this whole massive endeavor. It just becomes the next thing that you're doing. Like, it's not as overwhelming. And that's the days that I did find it overwhelming was the ones that I thought, oh my gosh, I've got this and this and this to do. How am I going to do it?
Yeah.
If I'm worried about how it's going to happen, I'm putting myself through all this mental torture. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm just focusing on, okay, I'm going to eat now, I'm going to drink while I'm eating, you know, read a book while I'm on my way to uni, or, you know.
You're going to make it work. You're going to find time.
You'll find time and it just works out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you start to catch this momentum and you like get into the groove of things. And then inevitably something happens. Like you get a big day at work, you get assignments due at uni.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, it's 10 p.m. I still have a whole 2-liter bottle of water to drink. I've got another workout to do.
Yeah.
I've still got to read.
Yeah.
And that's when like the metal is forged in the fire. And when you get through those days, Andy Frisella calls them test days.
Yeah.
Because like that's what they are.
Yeah.
Like that is where all of the work you put in is tested. And when you win those days, when you tick all your shit off and you put a W at the bottom, like those are the days that you gain the confidence and the grit and determination and the discipline that you want to like build the dream life that you want.
Yeah, definitely.
Like people quit when that shit happens, but that's when
that's when you can show yourself.
That's when it pays off,
how
bro.
Capable you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. And like for me, I have big visions, I have big dreams, and they're all things that I want to happen. Like, and I think for the longest time, I just didn't feel in control of that. I just thought like it'll come. And yeah, some things come to you, but if you want it to come with speed and if you want it to come with direction, that you need to like forge commitments and goals to yourself in order to like see the progression and really like solidify what your vision and what your dream is, because you're showing to yourself, you're showing to the world that you're here, like, and that you're ready for all these things to come to you. Like you've putting yourself in these positions and you're building all the qualities that it takes to be successful and to handle tough times and to handle big decisions and big commitments and big things, because you've done that yourself. Like you're molding your mind and your body every day through these commitments. Yeah. And it's so powerful because your visions then become stronger and larger. And I'm envisioning things that I never would have even dreamed about 2-3 years ago. And that is the most exciting thing, really, is to have all these visions and know that it's possible and know that I have the capability to execute on all of it.
is when life actually begins. It's like that's where the start is, bro.
Yeah.
And like, you don't really realize that until you get there. Like, you don't fully grasp the infiniteness of possibilities that every human being has, you know, and everyone can get there. You just need to make promises and you need to keep them.
Yeah. You need to trust yourself. Yeah.
Because if you don't trust yourself, if you don't do the things you're going to do, how are you ever going to achieve anything? You just can't. Like, it's a prerequisite. It's part of the game. And if you don't ever stretch yourself, how are you ever going to improve?
Well, it's the same thing as like, if you don't believe in you, who else will?
Exactly.
Like, you need to believe in yourself somehow. And this is a way that both me and for you as well, we've both found that through 75 Hard. And
the question changes. It's not like, can I do this?
Yeah.
It's, how can I do this? And that's a very different question.
Yeah, it's not about like possibility. It's about
It's inspiring
vision.
rather
Yeah.
than like demoralizing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So we finished up 75 Hard around December last year. And after that, this kind of lease has stuck with me. But my commitments then from not having a set daily task, my confidence started to plummet a little bit, started to dwindle, anxiety started creeping in more. And I mean, that was after months and months, but I just felt myself kind of losing that initial drive or that fire, that momentum that was really in me, and started craving that again recently. I was like, I know that that's a safe bet and something that will fuel that fire back in me, will give me that self-confidence, will make me feel really capable again. So it's a hard decision to commit to it, because once you commit to it, you're like, okay, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And it was really hard for me to go, okay, I'm going to do this again, because I know what it takes, but I also know that I can achieve it now. Like, I know it's something that can be done. Like, I've been here before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm doing phase 1, which is 30 days, and it happens after 75 Hard, and it includes like the same tasks as 75 Hard, but it also includes 3 critical tasks, which is basically 3 things that you write down every day that you want to achieve to win the day. Like 3 things that are going to get you on the right path, on the right trajectory, on the right...
Closer to your goals.
Yeah, things that are going to get you closer to your goals. We also do 5-minute cold shower, which I think has been the hardest thing out of everything, because my gosh, it takes everything
a few days
in me.
to get used to.
Oh, I don't know if I'm used to it yet. Yeah. Like, just turning on the tap and then being like, seeing the cold and then having to step into it is so hard. But my gosh, I feel like such a weapon afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even during, I'm like, oh, yes, you got this.
Yeah.
Like,
I sometimes just go, let's go. When I'm like in there, I'm like hyping myself up.
yeah. I started playing music, like really intense music.
Yeah, I was leaving for work yesterday. I heard you just put on this craziest drum and bass song. I'm like, yeah, she's going for a shower.
Yeah. It helps.
Yeah.
It definitely helps, because it motivates you. You're like, okay, I can do this. I got this. Easy.
It's such a weird phenomenon.
It's a 5-minute shower. It's fine. It's just
Yeah.
cold. It's all right. It's cold water. Not going to kill you. Not going to kill you. It's all right. It's so weird, though, that like our instinct's like, oh, get me away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that has been another part of it. And then the last one is the 10-minute dedicated visualization. So you're thinking about your future, thinking about the life that you want to create in any part of your life. Like, it could be your social life, your career, your relationships, your
life.
life. Yeah, it's literally just like creating the life that you want in your head before it happens.
Yeah.
And you do that every day for 10 minutes. Yeah, so that's like the phase 1 aspects of it that I'm doing right now. And I'm currently on day 7, which is crazy because I feel like I only just started, and that's what happens.
Yeah, hold on for dear life.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm really excited, and I really feel like this time, because I came to the conclusion that this is what I was needing, and it wasn't like Brendan suggesting, which was great for me at the time, but now I was like, okay, what is something that was really reliable that brought me confidence? Oh, it all points to 75 hard.
Yep.
And it was
the looming cloud that is over you at all times. Because once you do it and succeed, you're never the same again. And you always know, like, when stuff starts to slip, because you feel that slipping immediately because you've been there. It's just always there, and you're like, fuck. Because like starting in the beginning, because when you fail, you have to start in day 1. It doesn't matter if you're on day 74 and you forgot to take a progress picture.
Yeah.
You redo that motherfucker. You start at day 1 and you do it all again.
Yeah.
And just that thought of beginning to climb the mountain is so daunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. But it really does help when you just go, it's just a workout.
You just go, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm doing what is in front of me right now.
Yeah.
And that's all I can do.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you start looking down the line and go, oh my gosh, I've got 20 more days, or oh my gosh, I've got 50 more days of this or whatever, like it's not beneficial, it's not helping you. You'll get there anyway. Like it's not going to help by looking down the line. If you're just in the moment, in the present, going, next task, tick, sweet, awesome, done everything for today, that's great. And then you wake up the next day, you're like, cool, let's go for a workout, awesome, done, drink some water, sick, read some book, awesome. You know, you just get there.
It's exactly how like you achieve any massive goal as well. Like if you want to run a 100-kilometer race, how do you do that?
Yeah.
You take one step, and then you take another step.
Yeah.
And you take another step.
Yeah.
And another step. Like the accumulation of steps is overwhelming, but if you just think about the next one, and if you take enough next steps, you'll finish. Yeah, you can never lose if you approach it like that. Like you either take the next step, you quit, or you die.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Thanks, DJ Khaled. Moving swiftly along. So that's like where I'm at on the commitments that I'm making to myself at the moment to build my dream life.
Together.
Mm-hmm. So Brendan's in a bit of a different boat because I'm
a little bit further down the stream.
Yes, further down the stream.
Yeah.
So you've done phase 1 already. You've done phase 2 already.
Yes. My first try at 75 hard was years before that. I think I made it 31 or 2 days and I failed. And the thought of starting over was too overwhelming. So I said, I'm going to try again when my life isn't as hectic. 2-3 years later, didn't do it.
Yeah.
And then I watched the Nelk Boys podcast with Andrew Tate. And I remember because you were at work, I watched it.
Yeah.
And the shit he was saying like resonated with me on such a level, like what Andy Frisella says.
Yeah.
Not all the whack shit. If you read between the lines, he was basically describing like what we're missing in a society. And as an individual, like myself as a man, I felt like I didn't have confidence in myself, even just as an individual. And like the conversation about society and men in general is a whole nother thing. But for me, what he was saying, like just having confidence in yourself and as a man doing what you are saying you're going to do, being dependable, being reliable, being capable to protect the ones you love and provide for them. I resonated with that.
But I also think that is something all humans should have. That's
exactly.
Not just a man thing. Like for me, having commitment and having trust in my word is life changing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And like, I watched that podcast and it just fired me up, man. I knew exactly what I had to do because, like I said, that cloud, it hangs over you.
Yeah.
It hangs over you. So I'm just like, I'm starting this. I remember messaging you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm starting 75 hard.
Yeah.
If I don't do this, I'm going to sell all my computer shit.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I would throw everything that I loved out the window. Like, balls to the wall committed.
Yeah, you said you're selling all your music gear if you don't.
If I don't achieve it. Yeah. I mean, at that point, I already knew, like, I was going for it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I needed to know I would finish it this time. So I had already started. Did I fail once? I think I did.
You ate chocolate or something.
Oh, yeah.
You ate chocolate.
I didn't even realise.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I was like 8 days.
It was a biscuit or something.
Yeah.
Like.
And I was just offered one and I was like, yeah, sure, I ate it. And then I'm like, wait a second.
Oh, is it a family event?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm a 75 hard. I can't eat this.
Oh, no.
And I had already eaten it. Like, it was in my mouth. I had swallowed some of it. I was like, well, guess we're starting over. So I started over. And then I got to about day like 30 when you started or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you decide you were going to start. So I started over again.
Yeah, you're
From
like,
day
okay,
one.
I'm starting again, which I was not expecting.
Yeah,
And you're
I was like, fuck
okay,
this, I'm going.
I'm doing it
We're
again.
doing it together.
So I was so surprised with that as well. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was incredible for me. Like, I felt very supported. In that.
I wanted to like leverage you into doing it as hard as I can because I knew what it would do for you. So I'm like, I'm going to restart for you.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you quit, then you fucked me over.
It's on you. Yeah, true. It was good.
It's kind of blackmail, but still, I knew it would work. Yeah, so then we finished, we took a break for Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah. We finished around Christmas.
Yep. And then I went into phase 1 in January, which is what you're doing now.
Yeah. So
I'm doing phase 1 unofficially with you right now, and I start phase 3 in September.
Yeah. So for me, the way that I look at the 75 Hard program and 75 Hard like life.
Live hard is the whole thing.
Live hard, yeah. I think that it's a routine that I will need when I feel myself slipping into tendencies of like lack of commitment and dedication and not executing on the things that I want to. And when I feel that, I know that this is a safe bet that will rewrite all that again for me.
It's a tool.
It's a tool that I can come back to and utilize. Yeah. So it's like, I went into doing 75 hard just being like, I'm going to do 75 hard, and once I've done it, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, that is me done. Like,
And sometimes you need to do that to get yourself to start.
Yeah, and it helped. Like, that's all I needed. Like, then it was just like doing 75 hard, and that once I'm done, I'm done. Like, sweet. And I really needed that break from it. As the months progressed, I realized...
You realize discipline was a skill that diminishes.
Exactly. It's something you actually need to work on consistently to have it. So when it started dwindling, I was really confused. I was like, why is my anxiety coming back? Why am I not as confident?
Yeah.
Like, because I'm not doing the things that I say I'm going to do or want to do to myself. So whenever that comes back, this time I've gone, wow, 75 hard. It's time for phase 1.
Yeah, better late than never.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think having a commitment, something that you do daily like that it's just so beneficial. But I think another thing to think about, like if anybody that is listening to this and thinking that they want to do it or they want some sort of structure in their life, like you can adjust this for you within like the workouts. So like with the workouts, one workout might be, going to the gym. The other one might be going for a walk. The other one might be doing yoga. Like it's as hard as you want to go. For me, I generally like to do like one hard one and then one not as hard.
I think I should say this, but if you're not sweating, you should be going harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want it to feel tough because you reap more of the benefits.
Yeah. You get out what you put in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. But it is adjusted to everybody's level. Like everybody has a different level.
Yeah. If you can't run 5Ks, then start with a walk run, start with whatever. Like the training is at your ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
And sometimes you need to get creative because in the first week, like you feel like you get hit by a bus and there's no way that you could do perhaps the same training that you've done for the past week. So you might need to change a run to a hike up a hill or, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Just know that it can be adjusted and that the main thing is that you're making a commitment to yourself every day that's unwavering for those 75 days and that you do those tasks. That's number one. Yeah, so I hope we've inspired some of you. I hope you got something of value out of the episode and something that you can take away from this. Maybe it is 75 hard. Maybe it's
wink,
something
wink.
else. Wink, wink. But, hope you take something out of it and apply it to your life so you can really build what you want. Become the creator of your life. Enough said. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode. If you liked it, leave a review or a rating. That would be awesome. Or share it if you think it's important. Thank you so much.
See ya. Peace.
Bye.